Well, hello, vinyl community. It's Jacob coming to you again from the Dallas Open Micer YouTube channel. We've got more folk and country finds, country and folk finds from Josey Records end of year clearance sale for 2022. All of these albums were priced at 25 cents. Most of them were originally priced for $2, although every now and then one was a particularly undesirable record or a record in poor shape might have been priced at $1. But here we go. Answering the question: Can you still find good records for 25 cents in 2023? My answer is yes. So without further ado, as we say in the vinyl community, let's see what we got here. We got some folk music, Gene Redpath's Scottish Ballad Book on Elektra, and the old folky Elektra label is pretty cool. I was, I guess, first exposed to them by those Queen records from the 70s. Those early Elektras were pretty neat. Hard to believe it was the same company. Or maybe it's not the same company. That maybe I'm just assuming too much. I haven't researched it on Wikipedia. Champion Fiddles. Oh, Champion Fiddler. Look at that grainy photo here. E.J. Hopkins. Houston police officer wins fiddling title. What it says on the back there. That could be a lot of fun. Beautiful yellow label. Alex Taylor with Friends and Neighbors on Capricorn. And not familiar with this fella. Capricorn put out a lot of that country rock. They did record Billy Joe Shaver as well. And there's that pink Capricorn label. Hank Williams in the beginning. I'm not seeing anything here at first glance about fake stereo or strings, so this might have been a fun Hank Williams pickup for 25 cents. If it's not, well, no loss there either. We've got Marv Herzog. I've been on a bit of a polka kick. Been watching, sorry, I'm shifting the records around in the box with my left hand. Been watching those SCTV sketches with John Candy and Eugene Levy as the Happy Wanderers, the polka musicians. YouTube's loaded with that stuff. It's a lot of fun. I will forward the opinion that SCTV was better than Saturday Night Live in its prime. All right, so here we have Marv Herzog breaks out the polka. If you've been watching my channel, you've seen him make an appearance in the Shrink Removal Spectacular. But did not have the pleasure of tearing the shrink, but I do get the joy of watching Marv Herzog tear through the paper. We got Six Fat Dutchmen. Major label polka release. Don't know anything about this fella, but I hope he didn't sell out when he made it big. The Singing Zither again. So that's the third album of his I picked up. Let's see what he's doing on here. The King is Coming. We got gospel. The Great Speckled Bird. The Swiss Boy Waltz on Top of Old Smoky. Then he gets a little, he does Somebody Else Has Taken My Place. He closes the party out with Ramblin' Rose. And then side 2 starts with Whispering. Which Whispering is it going to be? Is it going to be the old Paul Whiteman number? I did pick up some Limelighters with, still had Glenn Yarborough here. You may know him as the fella that sang The Greatest Adventure for the old Hobbit cartoon soundtrack. That's where I first heard of him. And then Gollum was voiced gloriously by Brother Theodore, who I didn't know at the time. I first caught sight of Brother Theodore's face in The Burbs. But if you haven't checked it out, there's a 3-hour video on YouTube of Brother Theodore's appearances on the David Letterman show. It's worth checking out. Same channel that put up the complete appearances of Andy Kaufman, or as David Letterman says, Andy Kaufman, and there are also the Harvey Pekar appearances available, all clipped together. Good fun stuff. Sing Out, the Limelighters. I had this back in the 90s. Did not survive my many moves during my my times of housing insecurity. We got the Singing Rambos. I thought I'd give them a try. They got their gospel stage show 2-album set. Here's a record. I'll leave it in the shrink for now. I can't pass this up. Johnny Rodriguez's 1973 debut on Mercury. Just a classic album. It's close to perfect. We've got him covering Billy Joe Shaver in 1973. That was a very early Billy Joe Shaver cover. Easy Come, Easy Go. It has the wonderful fiddle of Johnny Gimbel on that one. So Billy Joe Shaver song mixed with Johnny Gimbel on the fiddle. Fantastic. And then we've got Pete Drake on steel guitar, bass, Bob Moore, piano, Pig Robbins. They don't even go with the Hargis. We've got guitar, Harold Bradley, Jerry Kennedy, among others. Wow. This is always available for cheap here in the Dallas Metroplex, in the clearances. Overlooked gem. Another overlooked. I didn't see as many clean Linda Ronstadts as normal, but I'm always gonna pick up Linda Ronstadt for 25 cents. You do gotta watch out for her when she does the Eagles stuff, Desperado. But Linda Ronstadt, what a treasure. You got Burl Ives, Down to the Sea in Ships. My grandparents on my mother's side were from the great whaling capital of the world, New Bedford, Massachusetts. But I didn't get any of the whaling blood. I don't have the balance to be standing on the front of those one of those harpoon boats. But interesting. Could be a nice listen. Wonderful shape. A nice historic artifact. We've got this sealed copy of somebody. I couldn't just let that jolly face go without wondering what is tickling this gentleman's fancy here. And he's sealed. It's a gospel record. Heartwarming Records from Nashville, Tennessee. Harry Bristow. Gonna give that a try. Know nothing about this one. Looked like this guy's having a lot of fun. He's doing a little spoof on the 1920s college kid, where they would wear these big fur coats, and they would have the pennant, and they'd ride around in their flivvers, and somebody would have a banjo or a ukulele, and they would drink out of flasks. But this is called Vaguely Reminiscent. Charlie King, Beat State, and then there's the good old Pentagon right there. So I think that's a bit of a tongue-in-cheek thing. And side one, speaking of the Hobbits, side one has a song called Song for a Hobbit. Interesting. This is from 1982. Around the time that I was listening to that Hobbit soundtrack with Glenn Yarborough. Don't know, Jim Connor said online that he was with the Kingston Trio at one point. gonna enjoy that, I'm sure. Some bluegrass banjo music is how that was described. Here's another fella I'm not familiar with. Looks like he might have been the kind of hipster I wouldn't want to know in real life. But he's clowning around there. Ironic hipster, way before his time. I think this was 1979. Doing the ironic hipster in 1979. He would have been so perfect doing this in like 2007. But I think this was his second and final full-length album that was ever produced. And I'm going to give it a try. Matthew Moore, it's got the gold stamp on there. Can't hurt. We've got Myron Florin. We got him going to Nashville and doing some sessions on the accordion. There's the Nashville skyline before they got the Batman building. Oh, we got something fun here. Oh my goodness. These records are shifting around. Don't worry, I'm not gonna leave those out of the fun. Doug Kershaw. Look at that album cover right there. The Ragin' Cajun. See, he's wrestling an alligator out of the swamp, and then there's this dragonfly violin flying around. Obviously, this was not done on computers. Somebody was doing the old cut and paste. Somebody with good skills with the scissors and legendary sideburns there. Doug Kershaw. Some more Doug Kershaw. This has got the Louisiana Man, and Warner Brothers provided this for you to play in your record store. They say, provided with the hope that you will use this for in-store play. Promo copy not for resale. Well, that's fun. I hope the record store played some Doug Kershaw, and this didn't just go home with some record store employee. I have no idea who this is. I did recognize a name on the back. Mark O'Connor plays fiddle on here. I thought I'd give it a try. I don't like these covers where people are wearing heavy jackets and then you got signs of an inferno in the vicinity. It looks like he's standing in front of a steel structure that's going up in flames, and he's just smiling there with dazzling white teeth. Wearing a leather jacket. When I stand in front of steel structures, I prefer them to not be on fire. Maybe that album is gonna be fire. Here we've got a Capitol compilation. It is a I don't know. It says Creative Products up there. I mean, this is some sort of promo thing. It's on a strange pink ringed label there. Capitol. Does it even say? Yeah, it does have Capitol written there, but it's got Buck Owens, Wanda Jackson, Tex Ritter, Glenn Campbell. Could be interesting. Roger Miller, 25 cents. I'll do that every time right there. Bob Lumen, I'll give that a try for 25 cents. Sally Was a Good Old Girl does the song Memphis. Oh, does the song Release Me. That one was kind of done to death, wasn't it? Here we have one that looks fun. David Rogers, Just Thank Me. Promotional DJ copy. I don't know who this is. I think there were some names on here that stood out. Yep. We got Johnny Gimbel, Pete Drake, Harold Bradley. Gonna be good. Buddy Harmon, some familiar names. Tommy Alsop on guitar. Harold Bradley. Oh my. So he got the full support of what record label? Atlantic. Here's a fellow I didn't know. He had been the Poet Laureate of Texas in 2007. Well, here's a Roger Miller album that I never have owned, but I've got stereo, and mono. This is, the mono's got a split on there, but it also has this strange hole right there. No, looks like I picked up 2 copies of this one. You might remember that from my previous video. Come on, I'm trying to get a grip here. Got Fantastic Fiddle. That's some, it's like a regional label there. This fella, oh, this is from Arlington, Texas. A Fort Worth recording artist, I think it was, and personally autographed. Hargus Pig Robbins, promotional copy. The Country Instrumentalist of the Year. He does a song on here called Muskrat Love. And it must be the Captain and Tennille song. And if you want to know who the Muskrat is on this session, it is none other than Buddy Emmons. I hope that it took a long time to talk Buddy Emmons into recording Muskrat Love. Maybe they find a way to make it enjoyable, but Buddy Emmons does play steel guitar on here, and that'll be fun to listen to, even if Muskrat Love is giving me warning that it might not be the greatest all-around record. Chieftain's record I didn't have. Actually have missing quite a few of theirs. Bonaparte's Retreat. They're starting to climb their way out of the clearance. So happy to find that one for 25 cents. Let me get a good stack of these here. Shift myself. I think I'm going to get through this box in this video. It'll be a two-part episode, a two-part series. We got Mel Tillis, Love Revival. Mel did like to wear those denim jackets. Roger Miller, look at the condition on this one. Golden hits on Smash. You see this record all the time. Oftentimes you'll find a good copy of it for cheap. It's worth every penny. Upgrade copy of Harper Valley PTA. Look at the condition on that one. The gloss. A little bit of ring wear down there. But honestly, hard to believe this is 50 years old. 50 plus. This one was a bit of a puzzler. It's Lefty Frizzell. They call it the ABC Collection. It's tracks from his last 2 albums. And it's got this horrible envelope flap there. What a terrible design, and creates a pocket. I initially thought this was going to be a 2-record set, because I do have a copy of a double album of the ABC Collection with a different cover, but this one has just selections from the final 2 albums on 1 record. 25-cent Lefty Frizzell, worth picking up every time. Glenn Yarborough, the Limelighter, singing the songs of Rod McEwen for 25 cents. In the shrink, why haven't I removed the shrink? I don't want to dox this gentleman, but got the address label on the front there. I thought that was kind of neat, and I could preserve that when I get around to removing the shrink. Kingston Trio, 25 cents. A real banger of an album. If you haven't heard this one, they kick things off with 3 Jolly Coachmen, some English folk. They do their big one, Tom Dooley, on side 1, and Scotch and Soda on side 2. Fantastic stuff. They got Sloop John B. I like the Kingston Trio's recording of Sloop John B. And maybe if it weren't for the Kingston Trio, we would never have the Beach Boys' Sloop John B. And I don't care if Rob Walker doesn't like that song. It has brought me many joys over the years. Of course, Rob Walker is entitled to his own opinions, and I do appreciate his vinyl tag that we're getting to enjoy these days. We got The Last Date, Floyd Kramer, with this bluish tinted album cover in mono. Decent shape there, not perfect. Wanda Jackson on Hilltop in fake stereo. We've got Tom Paul Glaser. That's a very light one. It feels like it's very thin, but he's one of those outlaws from the Waylon Jennings album. Happy Goodman's. Delightful cover art there, isn't it? We've got Detroit's Best Country, and you got that wonderful font there, that letter design done there with the rope. That's a very country thing to do, is do the lettering with rope. Do I know any of these artists? I don't think I do. There's a song called Something's Wrong in Dallas, performed by Bob Hoskins. I don't think it's the Bob Hoskins that I'm thinking of, but anyway, Something's Wrong in Dallas is going to be worth a listen to, because there are things wrong in Dallas. This one came out in 1979. I wonder what was wrong in Dallas in 1979. It's another one of those years that the Cowboys disappointed people. Here we have Norma Jean. Is that going to come back to bite me? Were the Cowboys a success in 1979? I'm pleading ignorant. I know they had winning ways for some of the 70s. Norma Jean. I wonder who's is that a portrait of is that somebody's dress, or is that something decorative there? I don't know, but she's got a song on here called the Teddy Bear Song, and there's probably no way that's going to be a good song. I think the only song about teddy bears that I like is the Teddy Bears Picnic. Here's another album I'll buy all day long. Roy Wiggins, they let you know that he was Eddie Arnold's original steel guitarist on Power Pack, and these Power Pack records always are a very poor quality vinyl, but they're fun. You wonder how many bubbles it'll have on each side. Fair and Young, Chapter 2, with a gold stamp. Sadly, we know how the book ended for Fair and Young. If you don't, it's available on Wikipedia. Tracy Nelson, Country, 1969. There were names galore on here that I recognized, if I remember correctly. Now this, I think, was given a mediocre score on the AllMusic website, but who was on here? Oh, we got Scotty Moore on guitar. We've got there's Scotty Moore in the studio. We've got DJ Fontana on drums. And we got the Jordanaires. We got Pete Drake. They really did give this one the full treatment here. So that backing band is worth checking out alone there. Tracy Nelson answers the question, what was Scotty Moore up to in 1969? The next record, this is an artist I've always shied away from. I thought for 25 cents I would listen to this maybe for a cultural perspective. This gentleman was a convicted murderer, and he well, you can Wikipedia this fella, Spade Cooley. Not one of the great Southern gentlemen in country music. He called himself the king of Western swing. Got another Fair and Young. There's Fair and Young in the Field of Grass. Stupid album cover. The Indignity. You just look at it. He's not into this, is he? Just going through the motions. On the MCA label, he's got a grin there. Did they do anything fun on here that I know? Took It Like a Man, Cried Like a Baby. That could be fun. Oh my goodness. It's got a song called You've Got a Friend in Me. Not the Toy Story number. Here's some more Mel Tillis. Got Hoyt Axton, and this had an interesting chart on the back, so you could see what musicians were playing on what song. That's a bit silly, but it was you know, save the money on having to pay somebody to write a note saying, Chet's a swell, or not Chet, Hoyt's a swell guy, and I think you'll love his latest here on A&M Records. Got another Floyd Kramer. This one's in stereo in flawless shape, it appears. Hope nobody played it with a blunted needle. Usually I don't get too excited about these Floyd Kramer records. They can get a little syrupy, but The Last Date is a classic. We got a Folk Legacy, 1979. I think I've been getting a lot of, 78. A lot of this late 70s stuff today, but could be fun. Bob Zentz looks like he's playing some hammer dulcimer in the field. I hope that's just for the photo shoot, and he doesn't normally leave his gear out there in the damp grass. It's a stretch for calling this one country, but it's certainly not urban stuff. We got Queen Ida and her Zydeco band playing in San Francisco, G&P Crescendo. I'll look forward to that one there. Zydeco is fun stuff. They do Jambalaya. They got a song on here called Zydeco Taco, written by Ida, written by Queen Ida. Ida... Oh, looks like her last name starts with a G. We're getting near the end of the show, folks. Answering the question, can you find great records for 25 cents in 2023? Oh, I think you can. I think you can. All right, what do we got next? The Oak Ridge Boys. I've never been curious about them when they've had the long beards, but this one looks a lot of fun, doesn't it? Y'all Come Back Saloon. A little play on words. Does it have? It's got Charlie McCoy on here on harmonica. It's got a whole list of string musicians. We've got Johnny Gimbel again. Is there any steel guitar? Steel guitar, Lloyd Green. That could be fun. Speaking of fun, look at the fun in this album cover. Have no idea who this is. Mary McCaslin. And so we got a country. This looks like an 80s record, maybe late 70s. Philo label. And we got a whole long list of musicians on here that I'm not familiar with. Looking forward to enjoying that one. I would be putting the readers on, but I've been working up a sweat and all this humidity that I'm constantly wiping the lenses. Vassar Clements, 25 cents. It's a record I already had, but this is an upgrade. 25 cents. Roger Miller, towards the end of the life. Here we have him. I think this was 1986. Roy Acuff on Metro, doing gospel numbers. He was a Freemason, and so it's possible that his god was actually Lucifer, but I don't know. That's the end of that one. Well, that was a lot of fun. Just under 30 minutes here. Sorry about that little bump. That was my Country Music Clearance Hall Spectacular Part 2, the finale. If you missed the first one, well, it'll pop up over here, and there might be another video you want to watch. And that sound that you heard was my glove slapping my leg. It was not gas being expelled. Once again, happy 2023. Look forward to making another video for you very soon.